It is curious to think how one of the most innovative minds of our age, Elon Musk, known for his focus on technology and space breakthroughs, could speak openly about Jesus and spirituality. What led this visionary to reflect on such transcendental topics? How could someone so pragmatic and logical find value in millennia-old spiritual teachings? Elon Musk shocked the world by revealing that, after an unexpected moment, he began to regard the teachings of Jesus with a new respect. If you enjoy content that helps you grow spiritually, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join our community for more inspiration. Let's get started. During an interview on Reddit, what started as a common conversation about his tech projects turned into a deep exchange about his personal beliefs. Although Musk has been skeptical of organized religion and confessed that he has never prayed, even in critical situations like his fight against malaria, something changed in his perspective. In sharing his reflections, he mentioned that spirituality had not solved all the existential questions that had always plagued him. From a young age, he sought answers in philosophical and religious texts, but no scripture seemed to satisfy his insatiable curiosity about life. However, an unexpected encounter with a Christian group called Babylon Bee led him into a conversation that challenged his perspective. During this interaction, he was asked directly if he would accept Jesus as his Lord and Savior. He did not give a definitive yes, but his response was cautious and deeply thoughtful. He stated that he respected Jesus' teachings, especially regarding forgiveness and kindness toward others, and recognized their universal value. Although he avoided committing himself fully, his openness on the subject marked a remarkable contrast to the image many had of him as a purely rational man, focused on the tangible. This revelation generated widespread public debate. While some praised his vulnerability and willingness to explore spiritual issues, others criticized his approach as too superficial for such a profound subject. What is clear, however, is that Musk's words have highlighted how prominent figures can influence global conversations about spirituality. The recognition of values such as compassion and empathy in a technological context suggests a future where humanity could reconcile scientific progress with the ethical lessons of the past, inspiring many to reflect on their own beliefs. In the midst of the fascinating interview with the Babylon Bee, Elon Musk offered an unexpected approach to how technology and spirituality can coexist in our lives. While reflecting on the ethical advances humanity must face, Musk highlighted a little-known anecdote from his childhood. He shared how, despite being baptized in the Anglican Church, he had never really connected with spirituality for much of his adult life. However, his perspective began to change as he faced complex ethical dilemmas as a leader of innovative companies. This connection between the spiritual past and present challenges opened up a new perspective in his life, leading him to reconsider the impact that moral values have on daily decision-making. We all face challenges that make us question our beliefs and the purpose of our actions. In those moments, finding answers can change everything. This is exactly what the secret of Jesus' apparitions offers: a path to clarity and peace through his revelations. This ebook delves into his prophecies and offers a glimpse of what lies ahead. It is available for free in the anchored commentary. Grab it now before editions run out. One example Musk recalled was the internal debate he had about the moral limits of artificial intelligence. In a confidential meeting with Tesla engineers, they discussed the development of an autonomous driving system that could make life-and-death decisions in extreme cases. He admitted that these morally difficult situations made him think about where values come from and how choices should be based on more than just logic. At another point in the interview, he noted that one of the questions that most troubles him is how to balance technological progress with human well-being. While his success is undeniable, he reflected on times when he felt isolated in his search for answers. This isolation led him to explore religious and philosophical texts, seeking a framework that could guide his actions as an innovator. While he did not find all the answers he was looking for, he recognized that Jesus' teachings on compassion and empathy provide a solid foundation for making ethical decisions. One story that caught the interviewer's attention was Musk's revelation about a personal incident. He recounted how, after a technical failure on a SpaceX rocket, he faced a difficult decision that would affect hundreds of employees and thousands of lives associated with the project. At that critical moment, he recalled considering the importance of forgiveness and reconciliation, values that resonated with the teachings of Jesus that he had begun to explore. These moments of vulnerability not only humanize Musk, but also highlight how technology and spirituality need not be opposing forces. Rather, they can be complementary pillars in building a future where progress serves human well-being and the pursuit of purpose. During a recent exchange in a public talk, he recalled an experience from his youth that shaped his perception of empathy and strength. As a child, he faced a group of peers who constantly bullied him at school. At a critical moment, he decided to physically defend himself, and while he did not encourage violence, he shared how this action changed the dynamics of his social environment. The lesson learned was not about aggression, but about the importance of combining compassion with the ability to be assertive. This two-pronged method, which he calls strength with purpose, fits perfectly with the important leadership lessons he thinks are important. In a recent social media post, he reflected on how the concept of loving your neighbor should not be an excuse for tolerating injustice. For him, the balance between kindness and courage is key to face social and ethical challenges. If these ideas inspire you, remember that you can download a special resource full of wisdom and clarity. Copies are limited, so don't miss this opportunity. During the conversation with his friend Jason Calacanis, Musk also offered a rare perspective on how these religious and philosophical values influence his decisions as a business leader. For example, he shared that in high-level meetings at Tesla, he often draws on basic ethical principles, such as asking whether a decision genuinely benefits the people involved, beyond financial gain. Another revealing moment occurred when he spoke about his role as a father. He tries to instill in his children a mix of empathy and moral fortitude. One of his examples was a talk he had with his oldest son after a school conflict. Instead of offering a simplistic solution, Musk explained to him the importance of standing up for his values while remaining open to dialogue and reconciliation. This approach, he says, comes from both the teachings of Jesus and his own interpretation of life. In his recent interview with Jordan Peterson, Musk expanded on these ideas by exploring how Christian philosophy and Old Testament stories help him navigate complex ethical dilemmas. While he acknowledged that he does not consider himself a religious man in the conventional sense, he admitted that Jesus' message of forgiveness and love remains a crucial guide in a world facing growing divisions. With these principles in mind, Musk emphasized the importance of teaching active empathy and ethical leadership, not only in families, but also in businesses and institutions. This, for him, is a way to ensure that progress does not become a tool of oppression, but a means to strengthen human bonds and mutual understanding. In a recent meeting with the leaders of his companies, Musk raised an unexpected ethical challenge. What does justice mean in a world ruled by algorithms? In exploring this topic, Musk reflected on how technological tools are designed by humans with their own biases and values. He shared an experience in which the SpaceX team faced a moral dilemma in developing an automated system that could prioritize lives in emergency situations during space missions. According to him, these types of decisions cannot be left to mathematical logic alone. Instead, he suggested that ethical principles, such as compassion and respect for human dignity, should be central to the programming of these technologies. To exemplify, he recalled a case at Tesla where they chose to redesign a system to prioritize passenger safety over vehicle efficiency, despite the additional costs. During a subsequent conversation with his children, Musk talked about how this same ethic guides his personal life. He related how he tries to convey to them the importance of balancing bravery with empathy in his daily interactions. One example he mentioned was a recent incident in which one of his children had to deal with an unfair situation at school. Musk suggested that, rather than resorting to direct confrontation, he seek an approach that encourages dialogue while still standing up for his principles. This philosophy of balancing strength and compassion also appeared in a public speech where Musk addressed the challenges of artificial intelligence. He brought up the idea that as technology improves, it should bring up important questions about why people are here. For him, technology should not only improve efficiency, but also enrich human connection and foster a more ethical society. Want to think about things more completely? Download this valuable free ebook now, available for a limited time only. Find the link in the first pinned comment. In this context, Musk shared his vision of spirituality as a journey of constant learning. Beyond religious labels, he described his approach as an effort to better understand the moral roots that guide human decisions. He even stressed that science and faith can coexist by providing different perspectives on the same search for meaning. The impact of these ideas did not go unnoticed in the media. One of the most talked about headlines was his statement on shallow empathy, a direct criticism of how societies often handle complex problems with simplistic solutions. Musk emphasized that while compassion is essential, it is also crucial to maintain a commitment to justice, a principle he believes should guide both individuals and institutions. In a private meeting with Tesla investors, he shared a little-known episode about how he approaches business decisions when ethical conflicts arise. During a recent incident, a third-party supplier was accused of unfair labor practices. Rather than immediately sever the relationship, Musk insisted on thoroughly investigating the case, citing that everyone deserves a chance at redemption, reflecting the Christian teaching of forgiveness. In the process, Musk told his team how the parables of Jesus, particularly the Good Samaritan, had influenced his view of social responsibility. Rather than making decisions purely based on financial metrics, he urged Tesla leaders to consider the human and moral impact of their actions. Ultimately, they chose to work with the supplier to implement reforms to its labor policies, which improved working conditions for hundreds of employees. In addition, Musk recounted how his own personal experience with rejection and isolation during his childhood led him to reflect on the commandment to love thy neighbor. During a conference with young entrepreneurs, he noted that leaders often face decisions that test their compassion and fairness. He cited an example in which, in developing autonomous driving technology, he prioritized pedestrian safety over economic interests, something he described as an act of doing the right thing, no matter the cost. At another point, during a conversation with Neuralink engineers, Musk addressed how Christian values of empathy and care for the most vulnerable influence his projects. Neuralink, designed to help people with disabilities, is guided by a fundamental principle he describes as doing for others what you would want them to do for you. Musk emphasized that this philosophy is not only practical, but also essential to building a more humane technological future. The influence of these principles also extends to how he manages corporate culture. In implementing employee wellness programs, he stressed the importance of fostering an environment that reflects kindness and understanding, values that he believes are at the core of Jesus' teachings. This approach has been key in the evolution of his companies, not only as technology leaders, but as platforms for significant social impact. In a recent conversation with Starlink leaders, Elon Musk reflected on how Christian values can influence equitable access to technology. He recounted an initiative in which he committed to expanding internet connectivity in underserved rural communities, many of which face extreme poverty. Musk emphasized that this effort is not only a technological breakthrough, but also an act of service inspired by teachings such as giving without expecting anything in return. Before you continue, be sure to get your copy of this transformative ebook. There are only a few units left, and it could be the guide you need right now. During the implementation process, he insisted that the team prioritize the regions most in need, even if the costs outweighed the initial benefits. In one meeting, he stressed that this approach went beyond the commercial. We are called to take care of our most vulnerable neighbors. This principle, based on the teachings of Jesus, became a guide for the development of new projects within his companies. On another occasion, he participated in a panel on environmental sustainability, where he shared his vision of how spirituality can be an ethical compass to address climate challenges. He mentioned that initiatives such as the transition to renewable energy at Tesla not only seek economic benefits, but also to preserve the world as an act of responsibility to future generations, a concept he relates to the biblical mandate to care for creation. If this message makes you think and you feel it connects with you, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Also, if you really want to support our work and help us continue creating valuable content, consider giving us an super thanks. Join this amazing community and don't miss any news. To illustrate this connection, he spoke of a personal experience during his visit to a region affected by natural disasters, where he saw how entire communities were dependent on obsolete energy sources. Inspired by this, he accelerated efforts to develop more affordable solar batteries, stating that giving hope back to those who have lost it is an act of love. This action reflects his interest in aligning technology with principles of charity and compassion. Finally, in an interview with Young Innovators, Musk addressed how ethical values can be integrated into technology education. He proposed a teaching model that combines technical skills with moral reflections based on biblical stories. As an example, he suggested teaching about the importance of sharing resources using the multiplication of the loaves and fishes as a metaphor. According to him, this combination of technical and ethical learning is crucial to prepare leaders capable of facing the dilemmas of an ever-changing world.